right, here we go, Martin. Oh man, I could only do countdown so long, but I wanted you guys to hear that. And why not start the show with a little music and a little countdown? And I'm gonna explain the countdown in just a minute. I only wanted to do a little bit, and I should have been thoughtful enough just to do like a 30-second countdown instead of the 2 minutes, so you would think you got time. Anyways, it's a reason for all of this today, and you're gonna find out in just a second. Well, forget the second. Without any further ado, I gotta add my guest in today, and all the little things that you see is based off of his profile. We're gonna give you all the details because he's built all of the profiles and all of the scenes for today. And if you're watching this in the replay, please just comment any questions you have. I have put the Zoom link for everybody that's watching live for you to come over in Zoom to ask your questions live, as Martin McKenna is here with me right here on the Stream Show. Martin, this is pretty cool, man. This is pretty cool. You know, so I have to say this. Kai is here. Let me see. And then we got, I want to be sure it adds in right. There we go. Oh, man, that's cool. That's cool. So, okay, just for starters, you had a light come on. Am I doing this? Oh, that's me on my arm because you have, there we go. As you can tell, you've blacked out or you made grayscale the profile pictures, and this is cool. I want to get down to all the stuff that you thought about, Martin, to make this happen. Mr. Camera Junkie is here. I clicked it twice, so it went away. There we go. He sends hello to everybody. Sadid is here from Germany. Hey, sir, how are you doing? And yes, Miss Alexander, happy Sunday to you as well. And we got people coming into the, what you call it, the Zoom already. If you guys want to be part of the Zoom, you can just come on in. I'm going to try to pin my picture here if I can figure out how to do that in the Zoom so you guys will see me. But right now we're seeing the gallery view. There we go. And everybody's there. So guys, come on in, hang out with us. This show, Martin, is all about you, sir. This is all about you. So I've saw some of the things you were doing inside of the community. Big shouts out to the Ecamm community. You guys are awesome. Okay, I have to say that you guys are awesome. And Martin has been taking his time coming into the community and just sharing some ideas about scenes and about profiles. And, you know, especially when we first initially released Zoom, having Zoom profiles, just something different because you can have so many people on. It's not taking up so much of your computer to do it. I thought, man, what I saw you do, let's come on to the show. Let's bring Martin on so he can kind of show off some of his skills. And this is just to give you guys an opportunity to be creative. Martin has been creative, and this is kind of just to open our eyes. We like to create things. Let's see how we can play with Ecamm and make it work for what we're doing. And I still have people coming on to the Strick Show. Kirk is saying, hey, new design to the show. I keep clicking the button twice because it's covered over slow. This is Martin Designs, Kirk. Martin did all of this, and we're going to go through this today. And we got so many people coming in and saying hello. There my man Jeremy is. And they're just coming to say hello because you're here, sir. Martin, because you're here. Jaden's even saying hello. There you go. So this is really cool, man. I appreciate everybody coming and hang out with us tonight. Martin, now, where do you want to start? You've been doing so much in the community, showing people some great ideas with scenes. What do you want to start tonight with what you have actually shown us or given me as a profile to show off for the people tonight?
Wow, that's a good place to start, really. I mean, I think I've let's wind back a little bit. So what I did was a couple of years ago now, I think almost a couple of years, I decided that it would be a great idea to add a whole bunch of shapes and designs to Ecamm that I could bring in effectively as PNG or JPEG files and use them as overlays to sort of bring together some sort of nice looking format that looked a little bit different for a show. But what happened then was Ken and Glenn suddenly introduced the ability to drop in shapes into Ecamm. And then they dropped in the ability to have in blend modes and overlay modes in Ecamm. And so all of that went out of the window. And I started again and said, you know what, it might be a little bit more interesting if rather than just putting, a little line around our pictures on Ecamm, perhaps we could put some shapes together and then start to drop the shapes into Ecamm and use them as sort of borders for our profiles. So when we're doing our stream show, like we're doing this evening,
Hmm.
I went and had a look at some of your previous work and decided to have a little play about with some of the images and then drop in some backgrounds and then drop in some shapes and then drop in some little highlights on the shapes and things like that, just to make it look a little different. Not
Right.
too not too mad, not too
I like
too
it.
yeah, but just a little different. So we've got up in the sort of top corner up here, we've got your stream show logo,
Right.
but behind the logo, there's a little highlight there that brings the logo out a little bit. So where you are looking at your profile at the moment, you'll find that just below the stream show, there is a little um, element there. I can't remember what it was
I,
called.
s-
Let me have a quick look at what it was called.
I see it, and you have even, from a
Yeah,
smart way, locked it so it's a part of the scene. Correct?
correct. I've locked
That's
everything
awesome.
on
So
it.
so I was trying to move it around. It wasn't going anywhere. I said he has this lock, and I got to shout out Jeremy and Kirk really quick, Martin, because I did something I wasn't supposed to do. Me, you already talked about this. I actually reset my Ecamm today, and for whatever reason, it didn't go back to my Rodecaster Pro. So I actually started a show from you actually being able to hear the microphone from my camera, which has now been changed. And Jeremy and of course Kirk, those guys, they will definitely keep you in the know of what's going on. They got me right, so now people can hear me sound like I normally sound on the show. So go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, there's a few little quirks and things like this that you can play about with. So I've got a little glow around where we've got our names appearing.
Uh huh.
So where we have Strick and Martin, and behind the stream show, I put together a little sort of blur in the background, and those are created just you. I mean, you can actually use any graphics package, but it's just a little glow around there that makes things look a little bit different. And then you can use your overlays in Ecamm now and choose your blend modes so that, for instance, we've got where my hand is at the moment. You can see it's a little bit see-through there, and that's just an overlay blend mode going on in Ecamm. But it looks a little different from just having a square block with your
Right.
name
That's
in
true.
or something like that.
That's true.
And it's just the little bits that make the difference. And for instance, where we've got a little stripe across the middle of the screen here,
Uh
all
huh.
that is two little blocks that I put over the scene, and each of those have got a blend mode on them, and it gives us a little sort of glow around the edge of the screen. And all of these things are just done within Ecamm. That we're not using additional packages here to do this. It's all done within Ecamm. And the idea is that instead of starting from scratch, that you can just go download a whole profile, and that the profile is already set up for you. And you put in your logo where it says a stream show, and pretty much, other than changing the names on the frames, you don't have to do anything. So, so I sent you the whole profile this evening,
Right.
um, and I'm guessing you spent like 10 minutes looking at the profile.
Looking at the profile, but it only took me a couple of minutes to actually download it. Like it was really quick, really simple to download. All the profile has all the assets in it, so it's not like I had anything else going on. Like
Yeah, so
I didn't have to download the profile and then download other elements. It was all one download, and then once I clicked it, it actually added the profile to Ecamm. Like I was like, "Whoa, this is really fast!" Like I was wanting to be sure that I was doing the right thing, but it was really really quick.
yeah, I think it's like it's an unknown or unutilized Ecamm superpower. I mean, it
Right.
really is. The profile contains absolutely everything that you need to run a stream. So you can go from zero to hero almost instantaneously by pressing one button and downloading a profile, and it has all of your scenes set up. So it has your countdown timer, and it has you solo, and it has you and one other person, you and three people, you and four Zoom guests, and you and a screen share. They're all there in a profile, complete with your animations in the background and little highlights going on around the borders like we have here.
Hmm.
They're all in the profile. Literally, Ecamm day one, you can download a profile and then press a button, allocate yourself to camera A, your guest to camera guest one, which I'm guest one today,
Yes.
and you're done. That is as simple as that. And then if you want to go change your background, you can change your background real easy. So, for instance, I'll give you a challenge now, Strick.
Oh, don't
So,
make it hard on me.
I'm not going to make it hard, but if you go to the profile and you go to the very bottom of the profile that you've got at the moment, you will see show in background. And show in background has got two images on it. It has got the current image and another image. Go and
Show in
hide.
background. So I'm at the bottom. Let me see.
Yeah.
I'm not
Go
sure I
and
see that one.
go
Show.
right to the bottom where it says show in background. And
So the
you will see,
last one I'm seeing is Martin demo if needed. I got the stream ending, and then Martin with two gas, the zoom. I don't see the show in background.
so in the overlays panel rather than the
Okay, okay,
scenes
okay,
panel,
okay. There you go. You have to make it simple for
you,
me, Martin. You have to make it really
okay.
simple.
So
Okay,
you
here we
have
go.
something that, so you have something that says sparkling,
Uh-huh.
sparkling particles, which is what
I
we've
see
got in the
that.
background here.
Uh-huh.
You've then got alternative background and
Right.
background. So just unhide alternative background for me.
Oh,
So
that's
go to
cool.
and we've changed our background completely to something totally different in terms of background design. And that's how easy it is to change your background. So this could be, a picture of the Grand Canyon, or it could be your office in the background, or whatever you wanted it to be. That is you just switching between the backgrounds, as easy as that,
That
which
is
is
really cool.
pretty amazing, isn't it? Really,
So
one
once
click of a button.
But you're actually labeling these things in background, or that show in background is always there, and you just kind of move the elements that you want to be in the background.
Correct. So anything that you want to be in the background can be in the background, and you could design that yourself.
So with
So,
this alternative background, it's just on the top, right?
or on the bottom, if you like.
Well, it's on top of, yes. So the sparkling ones are on top, and I'm not in demo mode, so
Mhm.
nobody can see this. But sparklers on top, the alternative backgrounds in the middle, and then the actual background we have here, it is on the bottom. So when I turn the alternative off, it's on top of this one. So that's why
That
it's
is
showing
exactly
there.
right.
I got it. All right.
Yeah,
So now if I take off the background, this is what you'll see. Putting the
yeah.
background on and then click. Oh man, this is cool. That's cool. Let me do this really really quick. Matt is saying, "Hey, I'm a big fan of transparency settings to make things translucent. Pretty much everything. It's really, really cool that we got a graphics. Amen. Shaka's here. Good to see you, sir. And I'm with Dan definitely on this one. Listening to Martin do his thing. I love listening to him too. And yes, yes, yes. This is really cool. You could just do a blend mode. I guess you could do a blend mode on that. I guess you could do a blend mode on that. But this gives you some definite alternatives depending on what's going on. You can have multiple backgrounds going on. I really like that. The layer is confused a second, but I think I got it too. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's in the middle, and that's why I'm able to press it and it comes to the top because it is above this background, and I got it. The stream
Go to
share
next scene.
is hanging out with us. Good to see you, Brant.
Go
It's always good to see you, sir. Let me go to
go
the
to the
next
next
scene here. All right.
go to the next scene. It's got the comments set up.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I have comments here that I could be using, and I'm not doing that. Let me pull the scenes over.
It just go to one more scene, I
There
think.
you go.
Yeah.
And now I should be able to do this, and there we go. And it made us
There we
smaller.
go.
Like you've thought about all of this. This is really cool. So let me, if I go back, we're bigger here. And I'm throwing comments on top of us when you have a scene for comments. Like Martin has already thought about this. He's already thought about this. This is cool, man. This is
So
cool.
now you can go down. You can go down to the bottom now as well, and you can change that to the alternative version of the comments if you want to by going down to the show in all scenes, just like you did before, and switch it to the different background. And there we go. And well, we have a different background, and it might be a bit busy,
I like the
but
idea of it, Martin. I like the idea of being able to show people that you can do this.
mhm,
I like the idea that I guess another one of those Ecamm secrets, right? We're releasing some Ecamm secrets tonight, and you guys
we
could be
are a little bit.
using to kind of wow your clients.
Mhm.
Okay, let's keep going. So this is the comment window. What I want to do now, Martin, I'm going to go through some of these scenes that you have, and you just kind of explain what you've done. Now, of course, we know this is the comment window. You also have it listed as a comment window, and I could, throw comments up, and it will show inside of that window that you have set up. So let's go to the next one here, and this is your website. So we have it set up that if you want to show something on the web, it is there. So let's check it out. Okay.
So yeah. So what we've got is this is my stream profiles website, and I think almost there's no limitation to what you can do with Ecamm in terms of backgrounds and things like that. So if the web widget is turned on, you should be able to scroll around that website now. So I'm relying on Strick here to immediately do things based on the fact he's never seen this profile before. But
I
you can
haven't.
just
So
go
I can
into
click
the
inside of this.
yeah, can click inside of that and scroll up and down.
Okay. Listen, guys. I really love Ecamm. Okay, I really love Ecamm. So number one, this is locked. It was locked. I did have to unlock it, Martin, to get it to go, and that shows
Mhm.
up inside of the bottom of Ecamm stream profiles, and it gives me a way to go left and right, and then to refresh it. But in order for me to move inside of this widget, which you didn't give me a link, this is not on my computer.
Mhm.
This is a web link inside of, right? Or it's a widget.
Mhm.
Explain this to me, because I'm kind of like blown away. This is the first time I've seen this.
Okay, so what we're looking at is my website, and that is just a web widget within Ecamm. So it's just like another overlay within Ecamm. But you can go into that web widget and it behaves totally like a normal website. So if you go and click on any of the elements within that website, So if you go and click on the
I'm on
top,
products now. I'm
well,
thinking that's what I pressed. Yeah, products.
any of the elements, so if you come onto one of those and click on a product and then move between the different elements on the product, it behaves just like a normal website. So here, what you're seeing is a bunch of different scenes which are in that particular profile within that website.
Now,
So
I want to be like the new guy because I've been using Ecamm for a while. I know that you can do web widgets, but what we're seeing here is your website loaded as a web. Did you have to use a different like converter or something, or you just went to the web widget, put in your website, and then the link that you got from there, you put it into this profile on this page?
that is exactly right. So all I've had to do is cut and paste the HTML or the URL link, sorry, the URL link for the website. And it is now a live website within Ecamm, and you can scroll about and you can change the dimensions of the website as well. So instead of this particular website being, I suppose, your normal 1920 by 1080, what I did was change the properties of the web widget to make it a bit bigger. So we can see something that is deeper, for want of a better description, within that particular website. But you can just go back and forth within that website just like any other website. So it's totally live. If you pick another element, it will jump into that element and click on that. Click on that, actually. That's a good one. Click on the YouTube bit and it's going to show you the YouTube.
Gotcha.
And we're going to hear.
Yeah, I'm
This
gonna
is a
start
one
the
minute.
music. I'm not sure that if it's I'm not sure about the music, so I'll just mute the music. But this is it.
Yeah. So this will come through and it will show you the live video. And I'm not quite sure whether the music will come through dependent on how we've got things set up here, but
Right.
you can get it to come through. And this is showing you a bunch of different layouts that are available and different tiles effectively and zoom layouts for that particular profile. But much the same as you've done this evening, it's one click. You download it and everything is set up for you.
I like that.
So you don't have to start from scratch. Um, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that's in there that's free.
I'm with you, Shaka.
Um,
I just had to say it, man. That's clean. It really is. It really is. Like, and of course, I'm being wowed by this. I've known we could use widgets. I know we can use this as a, like, if I want to, instead of being a website, it could have been a presentation. I just haven't used it. But to now see this in action and how we're able to use it in a show based off of someone that is, I'm using it in a show, somebody that is, has a website for scenes that you could use in Ecamm and a way for you to get them. So, man, this is really, really cool. How long have you had this site up and going?
oh, well, that's a good question. So I think probably around the end of last year, I thought I should probably put something up because people have been saying, "Oh, we like what you're doing and it looks interesting." So I started to put something up around about the end of last year. And then about March, I thought I really ought to do a little bit more here and perhaps launch some of these things as potentially for sale and potentially to share with the Ecamm fam. So I started doing that around about March of this end of March, and got quite a lot of traction. Some lots of people suddenly went, "Wow, I can't
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
you can
yeah.
do this." And so suddenly they all started sort of chiming in and enjoying what I was doing. And I really just loved playing about with all of the different elements and all of the different designs and just sharing it with the fam and taking their feedback and things like that. Possibly to the point of it not really being properly a business as such, as you might say, but more to just share what I was doing to eventually make it potentially some sort of a business.
I love it.
But
I love the ideas. I like this. I like the fact that it's already inside of the profile. So I want to go over that again, guys. He sent me a profile. So this is all Martin's creation, what you're seeing today with the scenes. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to download any additional movie files. It was all loaded inside of the profile that he sent me, including this. So all I needed to do was click on so that I can move inside of this widget in Ecamm, and it's basically just like I'm on the website, which, again, Martin, sometimes you learn how to use Ecamm a particular way, even though it's the hard way, you feel more comfortable doing it. I would have felt more comfortable having the website on another page, and I was actually sharing the website in here. I would have and then I would have to use another window to actually move around. I could do the same thing. It's just not as easy of a process. Instead of having the website inside of Ecamm as a widget, and you can just use it in that scene and go to the next scene, which is a much better way of doing this. Sometimes, we learn the old way and you're comfortable, but that doesn't mean that new advances are not there for you to kind of do it easier. And this is an easier way to do it. And yes, I've known about it, but I was using the old method because that was in my head. Oh man, I love it. So um, this is the next scene, which is more comments with both of us here. And
mhm.
then the demo, like for you, if you were demoing something, and
Let me tell you what I'm doing on this one then,
okay,
because it's going to run through a little video. So this is just me showing you how to make a background in Ecamm, or in this case in Photoshop. So what I've done here, I've just opened up Photoshop and I've given it a prompt to use the AI in Photoshop. So I've typed in background for a show called Stream Show with blue shapes, etc., etc. And then I've used AI to ask it to generate me a background. And it immediately generates 3 different backgrounds for me. And these are the 3 backgrounds it generated for me. And this is just from a single prompt in
hmm,
Photoshop. So I've said, generate me a background for the stream show, make it radiant from the center, make it blue and orange. And this is what it came up with. Now, I didn't like everything that it came up with. So
gotcha.
this is me saying, oh, I don't like those sort of weird heart shaped things. But you can just ask it to use generative fill in Photoshop to effectively get rid of the elements that you don't like. So all I'm doing here is I am going in and I am grabbing different areas in Photoshop and dragging and dropping, and then you use generative fill till it uh, gets rid of the elements you don't like. So it's a very, very easy way to give yourself a background for everything that we're doing here. So, in fact, the blue background that we've got surrounding us at the moment, the way that I created that was that I took the thumbnail, which was the promotion for this show, which had you and I on it and various other things, but I just masked those out and then asked Photoshop to fill the center of the image in, and it did that for me. So we ended up with this sort of blue spotted background, which is
I
the
got
stream
it.
show themed background. So I've not got that from you. You never sent me a file of
Right.
this stream show background. What I did was drop that into Photoshop and then get Photoshop to just fill everything in for me. So it doesn't require any great deal of technical expertise from me. So what I have done is just chosen a different background, and then you just save that, as we're seeing here, as a PNG, and it's just dropped into your background here. So I've been able to create one which is this background, which is the alternative background, and one, which is the stream show direct themed background from your PNG as well. So there you go. You've now got the hang of changing this, haven't you?
I do. I do. I'm getting to it. That's
So
really
you can
cool.
see how you see how easy it is to create a background. It can be absolutely anything you want, but you can use Photoshop to do that for you as a background, and then use Ecamm to drop the shapes over the top to start getting something that just looks completely different from perhaps starting from scratch.
So let me ask you this
So,
question. In the past, you sent me a profile. It automatically has this video inside of the profile in this scene. How is the video here? Like, how are you able to do that? Because if it was a MOV file, I would still have to, in the past, I would need to download that and then in my system, and then it would be there in this scene. So how are we able to do it without having to download anything else other than the profile?
that is the perfect question for those, because I'd have struggled with that for a long time. MOV files and MP4 files do not come over with your profile. So that is a problem. However, if you take your movie file or your MP4 file and you convert it to a WebM file, so you can use a multitude of different programs to do that that are free. I use MOV AVI, but I think there's Handbrake and a few other packages. But you can just Google the ability to convert files. But you want that as a WebM file. If it's a WebM file, then you can bring it in as an animated overlay into Ecamm, and it will include it in the profile. And the big deal here as well is it will also include sound. So if you bring in an animated overlay normally, it will not bring in the sound. But if you bring it in as a WebM file, it will bring in not only the movie, but the sound as well. And it will include it in the profile.
Let's do it
So,
this way to show people, because in your transition, it has, I guess there's a movie in there.
mhm.
And that may be just graphic, but it does have sound as well. So let's try this.
Mm.
Now, I'm hoping everybody was able to hear the transition sound, right? Okay,
So
did you hear it?
exact.
Did you hear
I
the
hope
real
they did.
sound? I hope they did too. I could hear it. So let's do this. Aubrey, oh my gosh, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. It's good to see you as well.
Hey,
And
Orbs.
and then Jeremy here. It's a problem, but it keeps the profile size down. Fonts don't come over either. The former because of the sheer potential size, the latter because of the copyright issues. Can you talk to any of that when it
So
comes?
I'm not quite sure what Jeremy's pointing out there in terms of fonts don't come over. The if they are standard fonts, is totally correct. So if I was using a font which is not a standard Apple font, I think that's what Jeremy is saying, then the font will not be transferred over. So if I'd used a fancy font, then that would not come over. So I've specifically chosen to use, in fact, it's Impact and Helvetica Neue in this particular scene because I knew that they would be on your machine effectively. So if you have a fancy font, it won't come over. You definitely have to transfer that separately. That's absolutely for sure. Um, so fonts do not come over with the profile. Need to bring those in separately if they're something entirely different. Um, what was the second part of that? I
I
can't
think he
see
was
straight.
talking about potential size. The former because the sheer potential size, and latter because of copyright issues. I guess he was talking about the music.
Oh,
Um,
music. Yeah, music is a continuous problem. And uh, you can't just go sharing music. It does have copyright issues to it. So you will find that in nearly all of the profiles that I put together, there isn't any music. So, in fact, the one thing that I said to you when I sent the profile today was, you're going to need to put in your own music. But I don't think that's a big deal because music is such a personal taste thing that nobody really wants to use a pre-canned version of music. They want to put in their own music and potentially their own sound effects to make it their own show.
There you go.
So the visuals are the same, music is different. Just before you went live, you said, "Oh, I'm going to go find some music," and you went off, got your music, and it was your music on the countdown, not mine. So
I think
yeah,
he
Jeremy's totally right. Totally right.
and he's also saying QuickTime and MP4 is what he was referring to. I think he was talking about the size of the files; they will be large, and the copyright of that, the music, I guess, that would come over. And Dan, of course, is being funny, like Dan is. Can we make Martin's hat as an overlay so we can put all different versions? Funny, funny, funny. Mr. Camera Junkie did hear the transition, so he gave us a thumb up on that. And okay, the information about WebM and it bringing in sound on the animation overlays is going to be so helpful. Yes, ma'am. Let's do it again because I think it's really, really cool, Martin. Let's transition. And again, that transition was actually done inside of the profile. Like everything that's there was in the profile. I literally clicked the link that he sent me in Chrome and downloaded the profile. And once I downloaded the profile, it automatically went to my profiles inside of Ecamm. So I went to Ecamm, hit the profile, and everything is there. I just like it, man. It's really cool. I mean, of course, there was a time you had to do all those different things. So now to just be able to press one button for somebody like me that waits to the last minute to set up for their shows, it was perfect. Because I thought I was going to have to download some things and move some movie files around, and I did not have to do that. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's the power of profiles. It's totally amazing.
It
And
is.
what tends to happen is once people get the profile and they have a look at it, they maybe go make a few tweaks to it. They say, "Oh, actually, I'd like a different shade of color to the border, or I want to change the background a little." But the key thing is that the layout is there
Right.
and that everything looks in the right place. And one of the, I suppose, minor bugbears with Ecamm is that when you've got a scene potentially with lots of stuff on it, trying to space it all out evenly is a real pain because there is no ability like there is in something like Keynote or any other graphics package actually to evenly space everything across the screen. So if you've got 3 or 4 guests, to get them evenly spaced across the screen is a real pain in the neck. So if you've got a profile where somebody has already done that for you, then that's great because you
Right.
press a button and you allocate your guest 1, 2, 3, 4, and immediately they're in there and they're in the right place, and it becomes really really easy to do that.
So Shaka's saying he has to learn profiles. Profiles are really cool. I have a couple of different shows, so I use profiles for those different shows. So if I go to something, I just go to that show's profile, and all of my elements are in that particular show profile. So that's how they come in handy. And if you want to share profiles with other people, you can basically just download a profile and send over a link, and they have it. So good question, good comment, I should say that. And let's go through the other ones. So what did I get down to? I got comments here. So this is another view for comments. Zoom guest transitioned. So if we had guests inside of Zoom, we'll have this here. You can go ahead and explain it.
So all we've got done here is we've laid out 4 different guests on the screen, and I have allocated myself to guest one. So Strick is camera A, I'm guest one. We then have guest two and guest three. So if Strick has people waiting in the Zoom room, then he can allocate people to guest two and guest three, and they are going to pop up straight into those windows. And all I have done when I'm building up that scene is created a folder that has all of the elements, for instance, for Strick's profile there. So a couple of squares plus the camera, plus the little glow and the text for Strick. And then I just copy that folder and paste it, and then paste it again, then paste it again, so that I've got 4 copies of that neatly laid out across the stream. So now, if we have people in, have we got Kirk's going to be waiting in Zoom, is he not?
He's not. He's not there now. He's not there now. Potentially before the end of the show, I'm sure Kirk could show up. But that being said, if we had those other people, all I needed to do is just go click on that file, then I can change. I guess where it says guest two, I can go to any camera, even if it is a duplicate of me. Which, you know, who wouldn't want
Hmm.
duplicates of me on the show? Like, I think
We
that's
all
a
want
great show,
duplicates of you,
right?
yeah,
Right. I think
yeah,
it's a great
yeah.
show. So
So,
it could easily be that simple. So Shaka has a question here. Let's see if I can go to his question and see if we can help him out. So profiles are shows and not built out scenes. So Martin, I'll let you kind of explain what the profiles are to kind of help him through that.
so a profile is everything within a show. So absolutely every scene within a show, every box, every camera layout, absolutely everything within a show can be contained within a profile. So if you start from scratch in Ecamm, whatever you build effectively is a profile. So as per Strick, if he's got different shows with different profiles, then he can have 3 or 4 different profiles and they'll all look totally different. But everything to do with the show is within a profile. And with one click, you can change the profile and it looks completely different dependent on what you want to do. So you could have a business profile, you could have a personal profile, you could have one for your church, you could have one for uh, 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 interview mode, you could have one for doing business presentations. They could all be different. And clicking between them allows you to change with literally one click of a mouse the way that everything is looking and feeling. So
Exactly.
it's a superpower, absolutely.
It really is. So, in essence, this is the stream show, and all of the scenes that you've seen today, of course, have the stream show branding. Well, my own personal show is called Strick City. So, I would need another, it would be best, and this is something that I'm sure a feature that people ask for, because I don't know that we had profiles like this before, but to have a whole different profile so I can just do my Strick City overlays, branding, for that. So I have a stream show, Strick City, and I have 2 or 3 other shows that I do that all have their own profiles. All elements, all colors are different. Some of the scenes are the same as far as how they're formatted, but the colors and branding are completely different. So let's see what he's saying here. Let me go to our comment window. So I have space down here. So I made a scene, a profile. Then I brought in I don't understand what I do. Okay, so you're doing scenes inside of a profile. Now, if you have one particular show, you don't need multiple profiles. You just got one profile. But if you have a need to have separate profiles, so whether it's one that's your personal show and then maybe you have one for your Zoom, corporate Zoom profile for that doesn't have any branding and just a full video of yourself that you have separate. It doesn't have any music associated with it or anything. You can have a scene for that. So you can do Zoom, you can do your own personal show, and all of these things have profiles, and under those profiles is where you build out all of your scenes. So the scenes do go with the profile. Okay. So one profile, you can have, I don't know, 10, 20 scenes in it. Okay. You can have a profile with just one scene in it. So it could be the Zoom profile. You just got a wide picture for Zoom, and it doesn't have any branding or anything to it. It's just a generic one camera shot. But your other show, you have all these different camera things. You have transitions. You have your colors on your screen. All the other stuff could be done. So I guess we explained it kind of right. He says, "Okay, cool." So I'm hoping that he got it. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Because it can be a little confusing, but once you get in there and start playing with it, you can really understand how thoughtful Ecamm has been with this feature, because it does help. And even if, like what Martin has done here, he's made it a business. So you can actually sell these. And he says, I do. You can actually sell these profiles, and it's so easy for the consumer, another e-camera, to actually get it and load it on their computer. And it doesn't really take a lot of hassle. It's just so much easier now. So I think shouts out to you, Martin, for being thoughtful to be able to use this and then showcase it tonight so people can understand, number one, the products that you have available, but how they can do it themselves too.
Yeah, they can do it themselves. And what's been interesting over the, I guess, past year or so is watching different people producing profiles, because I started to do this a couple of years ago. I think it was through the Vlogmas thing. I
Mm-hmm.
shared profiles, and then suddenly it's become something that lots of people are now doing. Is they're putting out profiles with their training courses, or profiles to sell. But I can go over and look at, for instance, live streaming pros. Paul Dixon, he's got some profiles. They are very Paul Dixon. I can tell his profiles when I look at them, and they look great. Anna and Fulgens, they do some profiles. I can tell, look at theirs, and they look great, but they're
Right.
totally different from the ones that I do. So,
Right.
there is a horse for every course, as they say, and
They don't say that in
profile.
America, but that's really
Are
cool.
they?
There's a horse for
Okay.
every course. I love it.
so so yeah, go find whoever you like, and you like the look of their style and their profiles, because it's amazing. I can look at something by Anna and Fulgens and know instantaneously it's them. They've got the bright colors going on,
Right.
and they've got some sort of Caribbean look and feel to a lot of it, and I love it. And the
They
bright
use
colors.
emojis and
There are
illustrations in their stuff.
loads,
Hmm.
yeah, loads of emoji stuff and things like that, and I don't do that. And then Paul Dixon's almost the opposite end of the line. He's a very, very clean and smart. He uses something called glass morphism, which looks very smart as well. Uh, But they're all very individual styles, and you can go create your own as well. So Ecamm will allow you to do this. There's a lot of playing about that goes on, right? So all of
It
these
is.
blend modes, and there'll be a lot of getting it wrong before you're getting it right. So
Exactly.
it might be,
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, it might be easier to just go take a starting point from me, or from Anna and Fulgent, or from Paul, just to give you a starting point, and then go tweak it rather than start yourself. But if you want to start from scratch, there is nothing stopping you doing that. Absolutely,
That is
um,
so true.
go
That is
go
so true.
play.
So let's go to something that I want to show for the night before we wrap it up. I want to go to our Zoom. But before we do that, you have a transition for Zoom. So if I'm saying, hey, I want to go to our Zoom, see who's over there, you built in a transition. And of course, we got four people inside of our Zoom. I wanted to show if these are locked. Let me see here how I unlock them. Um,
It's the golden rule. I lock everything.
Yeah, and you've got it. You've got it. So I have to, what I wanted to do, because you have everything stacked here, I wanted to duplicate it and just move it to another file. I know what. I know what. Here we go. So if you have this locked, where am I on guest number two? There
Hmm.
it is. It all linked together. So I have to be careful with this, don't I?
Yep.
So if it's linked together, how do I unlock it? I have to unlock each and every uh everything
No,
individually.
no. If it's linked together and you want to make another copy,
Uh huh.
then go up to the folder where it
Uh
says
huh.
guest two
Right.
and do Command C on that. Okay. Then do Command V, and there
There it
you go.
is. Wow.
So that's how easy it is to
So now I need to move this
duplicate.
on top of that animation there. As you can tell, I'm on the animation is on top of me. So let me move it here.
Mm.
I love it. That's
So yeah,
really cool.
if we wanted to create, 8 people on the scene, then it's as easy as that. You just completely, repeat the process again and again and again, and you can have that many people on the scene. And all you're doing is going and dragging the complete, um, the complete bunch of those together and putting them on the scene.
That is
So
cool.
if we had a whole bunch of people in our Zoom call, we could just do that, and we could allocate them to guests 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is on our Zoom call, depending on who was live and willing to appear on camera with us.
Yeah, Jeremy said he would hop on, but he's on his MacBook camera, so I completely understand. And Shaka is saying, or you can option and drag as too many Stricks. Listen, you can never have too many Stricks. Okay, and the way that it works, either we're all talking or we're all quiet. That's funny.
Yeah. We could have one of these as Zoom active speaker as well. So one of the other things that I've done is I've made, for instance, all of the cameras black and white, other than the Zoom active speaker. So we could have a whole bunch of people around the scene because we can get up to 9, including the active speaker. So the active speaker could be in the center and color, and then you set all of the cameras to black and white except for the active speaker. So when it jumps to the active speaker, there we go. There you've got an example of it there, where we've got all of the people around the central speaker in black and white, but the active speaker's in color. So as soon as the Zoom active speaker comes in, they jump into the center, larger than everybody else and in color,
I
which is
like
just,
that.
yeah, something you've never ever seen that on a Zoom call. I guarantee nobody has ever done that on a Zoom call. Whether you want to or not is another question, but you can do it, and it's a bit of fun.
That
And
that is really cool, man. I
you know,
actually have a Zoom client that I'm working with this week, and you just gave me a great idea, sir. So thank you.
well, it does actually. It really works well if you lay it out nicely. That's a bit of a sort of a novelty layout there with the circle. But if you lay it out a little bit more like we've got it here, then little squares around the edge and a square in the center, or in fact, squares around the edge with a more 16 by 9 in the center, it works really, really well. And you can say, hey, Strick, do you want to take the next question? And you press the button. You don't even have to press a button. They're just going to jump into the active speaker. Now, you do need to be a little bit careful with active speaker, because if somebody sneezes or coughs,
Gets
then
them as well.
they're going to jump straight into the active speaker, and it's not a good look, is it? Right? If you've just coughed
Right.
or sneezed, straight into the active speaker.
That's
But
true. But
I think,
you can pin, like if you're speaking, you can pin yourself to that speaker mode and you will always be there unless you move it, right?
yeah, that's true. But the way the active speaker, if you've got multiple people on the same scene and an active speaker in the center, you can't really control that.
Got you.
So the only way you can do it is by muting people and unmuting them. But I think Ken and Glenn, I have a feeling they're about to come up with a bit of a solution for that particular challenge. But potentially, it's fantastic. The way it looks, really, really good. And I even did it with vertical video as well. So I actually had vertical zoom and had a whole bunch of people in vertical zoom and then one larger person at the top of the vertical video who was in color, and the people below it were very small but in black and white. And when the active speaker turns up, then they turn into color on the top of your iPhone or whatever. It looked fantastic, really, really cool.
That's
And
cool.
again, never seen anybody do it before, but Ecamm allows you to do it.
So I do want to say this, Ashaka. This is free, brother. You don't have to buy it, right?
That's a
Am I
free
right?
one.
This
Yeah.
is the free one. So get it,
Mm,
get
mm.
it. And I was trying to go back here to see. Okay, there we go. And you said is this it? The first one here for the Zoom call, or is there
Yeah.
another one?
Have a look at the first one for the Zoom call, because that's probably got a whole. I think that's 30 odd scenes in it or something. So all sorts of screen shares and stream ending and stream starting and countdown timers and all sorts in there, and a selection of different backgrounds that you can play about with as standard, or you can drop in your own. But they're all in there. That's all free, and you can go play about with that till your heart's content.
I like that. Really cool. And I was trying to find the one where you said you had this in vertical.
Yeah, so
Where
in the middle there where it said killer streams. So go back up to the purple one in the middle.
there we go.
So there you go. A sort of almost looks like an iPhone, and you appear at the top there. Or if you go through some of the scenes there, I can't remember what's in that particular one, but more or less, I could have a bunch of people at the bottom. There you go. There's a couple of people at the bottom and somebody at the top. But we went up to, I think, 9 people at the bottom and a couple of people at the top. There's a video at the top of that one. And these look absolutely wicked on pretty much any feed, and nobody's seen anything looking quite like that
That's
before, I
cool.
don't think.
That's cool. He's got products for days, guys. Go check it out. Could you give me like the URL for this website
Yeah,
where
so
people can go and check it out?
I should really do that more regularly, shouldn't I? But yeah, it's streamprofiles.sellfy.store. SELLFY.store.
Got it. Shaka says he's on it. Awesome. 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 Let me be sure that I've gone through all of these. The only one I haven't gone through is the one that says ending. So just to be sure, do you have it to where it stops the stream at the end of that one?
It doesn't stop the stream, and there's no music on it. So you
Okay.
need to go grab your music file in the background and drop it onto that scene.
Okay,
But
so
I
I'm
know you
going to
can.
play the scene here, and let's see if I can find a little music here. I'm really
The
slow
music's
about doing stuff like this. There we go.
the music is here.
Yeah. Super cool. All right, but we're not ending the stream, guys. I just wanted to show that as an ending that Martin made for us. And because I dropped it on that scene inside of the profile, when you change the scene, it stops the music, which I didn't do to start the show. When I started the show, I just played music from the sounds inside of my Ecamm panel. That's why it was playing when I came on in the beginning. This is really cool, Marty. You've outdone yourself, sir.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed just a little something a little bit different, and maybe you'll take away some of the elements of this, which is what most people do. They think, "Oh, I don't know if I want everything, but you know what? I like that, or I like this," and take little bits and then blend them into your own stream show, and take that away from it as ideas for just ways of looking a little bit different. And
I
I do
agree.
think, you know, why wouldn't you? The option is there to have a little play about and enhance things. And I do this sort of 3D effect, which I quite like around things, and I think it looks, it pops out from the screen a little bit. And
Exactly.
the same with the little highlights here and there. It just makes it look a little bit different without distracting from the main images on the screen. And I'd have to say, we've done an amazing job of making our backgrounds look remarkably matched up here in terms of the sort of aqua light blue color. And it
Hmm.
was totally, we didn't do that on purpose, ladies and gentle spoons. It just happened. So,
It just happens. Well, I think it's really cool, to be honest with you, that you've done that. And because it is the end of the show, I do want to go through a couple of our last little bit of comments. Val is saying hello. She's got to be in the replay family because she's just kind of rolling through to hang out with us. John is laughing at her for what she
yeah.
says, but Jeremy's was about to call her. Everybody's saying hello to Valerie. Valerie, again, thank you for hanging out. Please watch the replay because Martin has kind of shown us a lot of things that we could do inside of profiles and scenes. I mean, he's built out a great new scene for the stream show today, and I think it's really, really cool. I need you guys to check it out. Martin, if people want to get in contact with you, they like what you're doing. I know we talked about the website, but could you drop us maybe some of your social handles as well?
Yeah, I mean, just check me out in the Facebook group. You can drop me a DM on the Facebook group. Apart from Valerie, who's late, so
Right, right.
no,
Give her a
no,
hard
no,
time.
no excuse, Valerie. Why
None
were
at
you late?
all.
So, um, yeah, just drop me a DM in the Ecamm Facebook group. That's probably the easiest way. Eventually, I'll get myself sorted out, and we'll have a subscription model to the Stream Profiles channel. And I think there'll be some special offers going out for the Ecamm Creator Camp that's coming up. So I'm trying to get myself together here for all of that. But it's all new. What you've got to look at really is 3 to 6 months ago there was nothing there. And now we've got all of this here. Where will we be in 3 to 6 months once Ken and Glenn add a few more things in to play about with? We can really go places. But if you just want to go grab stuff from the site, go play about with it. And that includes some of these transitions and things that we've had Strick show you there as well. So there's a whole bunch of free transitions and layouts and all that sort of thing. I've got a YouTube channel which is at Stream Profiles, which is a bit like a bring and buy sale or sort of Costco or something. It's a complete mess of
Okay.
interesting videos that you have to go look for the videos rather than being particularly well organized and in order, because I so enjoy all the design work and putting stuff together, that the admin side of things, I'll get there eventually. I'll get somebody else to do it for me
Hey,
at some point.
exactly. Sometimes that happens. It's hard to do it all, Martin. I just will say that. Gretchen wants to know will you be at camp this year?
I'm not going to be there this year because I have another Ecamm, well, not an Ecamm, another family commitment, a family gathering in the UK. Short
Okay.
story. I did go to Ecamm Creator Camp last year, and I got all the way to Plum Island, which is 20 minutes away from the Creator Camp. I was there the night before, met up with Neil Faramond night before in a beach bar at Plum Island, and then I got COVID. So I went all the way over to Boston and got all the way 20 minutes from Creator Camp and got COVID.
Wow.
So I didn't make it. I had to go home eventually. Well, after a few days. So yeah, a sad experience. And this
I
time
didn't know
round,
that.
yeah. So I nearly got there, but not quite. Uh,
Wow. Well, we're glad you're healthy and you're still here. Of course, you made it through COVID, and
yeah.
you had to do that in America in a strange place, right?
Yeah, well, I thought I was being clever arriving early and spending a week in Boston. And it didn't really occur to me I was in a very, very busy city and perhaps there was the opportunity I might catch COVID. And I did.
Ah,
But hey ho, another
yeah.
time. This time I'm hanging around with a whole bunch of people I've not seen for 20 years. So I'm going to hang out with those people in Scotland. But I will be jumping on to the Creator Camp TV a few times as well with Neil and some of the other guys there who are looking for remote people to join them so that
That's
they can
awesome.
practice doing stuff like this. So I will definitely be jumping on.
That's a great idea, and you should definitely do it. And Mr. Camera Junkie has been helping us out tonight. If you've seen anything from the show tonight that you really like, if Martin has inspired you to kind of beef up your profiles and your scenes, click the like button. Let us know how effective today's show has been for you. And any point you want to talk to Martin and get some more ideas, he has his website you could go to. Martin, could you give me that one more time?
Streamprofiles.sellfy, SELLFY, dot store. That's the
So
website.
that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
website. You can go to our Ecamm community page and DM him directly from there and talk to him about some of the things he's doing. But definitely do what I did. I watched some of his videos inside of the Ecamm family. I was inspired by his creativity, and that's one of the reasons why he's on tonight. I want to inspire you to be thoughtful about some of the things you're doing. Now, I do this show, Martin, all the time, and my profiles or my scenes have stayed the same. I do believe that content is king. Content, as far as my focus being, hey, how can we provide the people with information they need, they like, entertain them, and also educate them? But sometimes you do have to kind of beef up your scenes, make it look cool, because those things go a long way as well. So thank you for inspiring us tonight and even building me some new stuff, man. I think this is really cool. So thank you, and hopefully sometime in the near future we can have you come back whenever there's a change that makes a difference in how you're doing profiles. I really want to be sure that I bring you back so you could be on with us. Is this right? She got it. Val got it for us. Yes, that's
Val got
it.
it.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Val.
Val. I mean, she was late, but she's turned out good. I knew you
There you
would.
go. There you go. All right, so let me play this ending one more time and then we're out, because under your profile, I don't have my normal ending profile. So I'm going to play this with music and then I'm going to end the show. So, Martin, thank you so very much. Hold what you got, and we're going to end this show with a little music, and then we'll see you guys next Sunday. Next Sunday, I got
Cheerio.
Monty Weaver coming. We're talking about PTZ cameras. Who has them in their studio? And should you get them? Let's talk about it next Sunday on the Stream Show.